Your AI is burning cash. Supervisors are killing your margins. You have got agents fighting over compute. It is anarchy, bleeding your budget. Your old supervisor just throttles everything paralysis. The true art is architectural, when to let teams compete fiercely for a task, and when to enforce a strict chain of command. This tactical layering is the difference between chaos and a well-oiled, profitable machine. So, here's your shocking stat: uncoordinated agents cause a 33% compute waste. You can't afford that tax. The solution isn't one model of command, it's mastering the transitions between them. Your system needs to toggle dynamically, letting specialists compete, then enforcing a strict hierarchy for the final decision. This precision layering is how you reclaim control and profit. But you are thinking, that sounds manual. It is not. You can codify these rules. Set performance triggers, let agents compete freely, but when execution velocity drops or quality drifts, automatically escalate to a supervising controller. This is an autonomic system, self-managing layers that switch based on the work, maximizing both innovation and precision without your constant oversight. Do not cling to yesterday's single-layer thinking. That naive approach forces a brutal, permanent choice, chaos or rigidity. You either sacrifice all oversight or you strangle potential with bureaucracy. Your next system must reject this false dilemma. It needs dynamic layers that fluidly switch governance modes in real time based on live work signals. That's how you architect true autonomy. Stop orchestrating AI like it is 2023. Your compute budget is burning. Picture a symphony conductor. One master agent, your supervisor, directs every single move of your specialized AI models. This centralized brain ensures perfect harmony and total control over the entire workflow. But this precision comes at a cost. That single point of decision-making can become your biggest bottleneck. Every request, every microtask, queues up at its door. So, when do you embrace this bottleneck? When a single, critical mistake in the logic is completely unacceptable. If your process is a tight, non-negotiable sequence like a legal review or a financial audit, this total control is your fortress. You trade raw speed for absolute reliability. Consider a system routing medical test results. One misinterpretation could cost a life. The supervisor pattern ensures every directive is precise and every data point is validated before moving forward. This is your guarantee, unshakable control where human oversight is mandatory and error is not an option. Choose it when lives or law depend on perfection. Think of it as your command center for high-stakes operations. Beyond preventing error, this centralized brain delivers something priceless: absolute accountability. You can trace every single decision back to the source. When you need a clear, unimpeachable audit trail for compliance or mission-critical processes, this is your architecture. It is control you can verify. Here's the hard data: a failure rate 23% higher than decentralized systems, and latency spikes over 300% during peak loads. That's your risk premium for control. You trade raw speed and resilience for that audit trail. For true mission-critical tasks, that trade-off is often non-negotiable, but the performance cost is measurable and real. Stop wasting compute on outdated agent patterns. Think of your middle manager not as overhead, but as your strategic force multiplier. It does not just delegate, it synthesizes. This layer interprets complex goals, breaks them into specialist-level tasks, and integrates their outputs into a coherent, high-quality result. You are building a scalable, thinking framework for deep problem-solving. In healthcare, this pattern delivers measurable results. A 23% increase in diagnostic accuracy by having a manager AI coordinate specialist models for radiology, lab analysis, and patient history. It synthesizes their findings into a single, reliable report. This is why it is essential for life-critical decisions where a single point of failure is unacceptable. Do not just think of this as improved efficiency, think of it as risk containment. That diagnostic manager isn't merely synthesizing reports, it is your automated quality gate. It isolates errors from a single specialist model, preventing bad data from poisoning the final decision. For high-stakes processes, this hierarchical control is your only real defense against cascading system failures. Do not underestimate the transition cost. That diagnostic manager adds crucial latency and integration overhead. You are trading raw speed for control. Unless your process truly demands that automated quality gate, that hard stop for errors, this overhead will become a bottleneck. This pattern is for mission-critical decisions only, where a single wrong answer is catastrophic. So you've added this oversight layer, but what happens when the mission isn't critical? That diagnostic manager is now just a bureaucrat, slowing everything down to check a box. You have designed for a disaster scenario that does not exist. Your overhead isn't control. It is just dead weight. Are you okay with paying this tax for a problem you do not have? Your AI team is burning cash on inefficient agent chatter. Stop the chatter. In a decentralized swarm, agents do not just talk, they transact, bidding on tasks and negotiating directly. This isn't about order. It is a free market for intelligence. Watch hyper-specialized agents compete, finding the optimal workflow dynamically. Your system self-organizes for peak throughput, eliminating redundant overhead. But this raises a major question. What's the real-world scenario? Think of it as a creative think tank. What if your goal is to brainstorm countless marketing angels or engineer novel compounds? When predictability is the enemy of innovation, that's your signal to unleash the swarm. Let your agents explore the frontier. Here's the signal. Your KPI isn't adherence, it is novelty. We measured a research swarm exploring chemical compounds and saw a 28% increase in viable novel structures versus a single overseer. The decentralized model isn't about control. It is about setting a goal and unleashing competitive, parallel exploration. When you need breakthroughs, not blueprints, this is your pattern. Imagine your single point of failure just evaporated. The swarm's strength is chaos. Each agent competes, fails, and adapts. No one waits for permission. That friction creates fire. Your system isn't directed, it evolves. So if your survival depends on discovering what you cannot possibly predict, you do not build a chain of command. You ignite a race. This strength is also its greatest gamble. You sacrifice control for emergence. While the swarm hunts for unpredictable solutions, agents can collide in redundant tasks, burning cycles and budget. You are not directing traffic, you are unleashing a storm. The breakthrough you need is hidden in that noise, but so is the cost. Supervisors are a bottleneck. 2026 demands hierarchical orchestration. But compliance isn't the whole story. For complex, multi-stage tasks with conditional logic, that single supervisor fails. This framework shows the shift. You need a hierarchy, a main supervisor directing specialized subagents. This is the scalable architecture for dynamic 2026 workflows where one brain can't handle every decision. The data does not lie. Hierarchical orchestration isn't just about compliance, it's your key to velocity. When your project demands multiple, distinct expert domains, this structure drives up to a 40% improvement in task completion accuracy. Deploy it to cut through complexity where specialized decision-making is non-negotiable. Your workflow's intelligence just leveled up. Think of your innovation pipeline not as an assembly line, but as a laboratory. Decentralized orchestration gives each brilliant experiment its own bench, letting teams test, iterate, and pivot at full speed. You are not managing a process, you are creating a launchpad for breakthroughs. When you need agility above all else, let your ideas run free. But you are not just chasing the next new thing. Change has a cost. Stability builds empires. When your core business logic is defined, settled, and non-negotiable, that rigid hierarchy isn't a limitation, it is your greatest asset. It is the unshakable foundation that makes bold innovation possible elsewhere. Choose the supervisor pattern when your requirements are your crown jewels to be guarded and perfected. Now, let's attach a real price tag to this foundation. A rigid hierarchy demands premium, enterprise-grade AI. That's a significant, committed investment. But for those core requirements, this cost is strategic armor. It directly funds bulletproof reliability and control, protecting the very processes that print money. You are not buying a tool, you are ensuring your kingdom. Why build one AI when 3 arguing agents use 60% less compute? Think of a logistics firm using the same supervisor model for both its supply chain and its customer complaint desk. Both critical, but that rigid top-down command cripples problem-solving where empathy and flexibility win. You'd waste immense processing power forcing a conversational dance where autonomous, specialized agents would resolve issues faster and cheaper. Match the pattern to the real-world process. And here's a staggering stat that will change your design. A decentralized model without optimized routing can see intelligent communication costs consume over 60% of total processing time. You are not just running agents, you are running a network. Model that traffic. If messages exceed logic, you've built a costly bureaucracy, not an intelligent system. You have spent weeks architecting intelligent logic, but left it deaf and blind. A complex system without real-time observability isn't robust, it is a time bomb. You cannot manage or optimize what you cannot measure. This operational blindness will inevitably cause a catastrophic cascade you cannot trace or fix. Monitoring isn't a post-launch feature, it is your core survival mechanism. Ignoring the hybrid orchestration pattern is like sending multiple generals to war without a supreme commander. You'll see competing strategies, wasted resources, and no unified outcome. This friction isn't a bug, it is a design failure. You must clearly define your command layers. Without that strategic clarity, you are just creating expensive, internal chaos. Ditch supervisors. The future is decentralized multi-agent chaos. Stop. Starting with a clear use case is not just advice, it is your only safe path. That ambitious decentralized vision? It is built on solid, proven foundations, not theoretical chaos. First, master a single, definitive workflow. Prove its value and stability. That's your cornerstone. Only then can you scale with confidence. So you've mastered a single workflow. But what's the specific skill of that AI agent? Pinpoint its exact capability. Is it research? Code generation? Data analysis? Define this clearly. This precise map is your only compass for the critical decision ahead. Do you add a supervisor, build a hierarchy, or enable peer-to-peer collaboration? Your AI is a specialist. Now, you'll force multiply it. Stand at this crossroads. To scale, you must answer one burning question. Does your primary bottleneck today lie in coordination, specialization, or raw autonomy? The honest answer ruthlessly eliminates two options and leaves your single, mandated path forward. Here's your compass. Track these three signals relentlessly: cycle time from request to result, agent handoff friction, and the escalating cost of missed context. If any one metric spikes, your orchestration choice is already wrong. You are being led by inefficiency. Pinpoint the leak and seal it. That's your immediate command. But you are not alone in the wilderness. Your next command is to establish these three outposts. First, a central knowledge vault for core truths. Second, a real-time audit log of every single agent interaction. Third, a clear, immutable protocol for what constitutes a critical failure. This isn't bureaucracy, it is your control panel. Build it, or chaos will.